Hi there, everybody, and I'm Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass a TOEFL IBT. And specifically, I'm focusing right now on a topic. It's called, do you keep a speaking journal? A lot of people maybe haven't, really haven't thought about what it is to keep a journal, or how to keep a speaking journal, even why they should maybe keep a speaking journal. But that's specifically what I want to focus on right now. Now, what I also want to do is near the end of the video, I will kind of do a demonstration. I'm going to listen to a speaking practice test from one of my online students. I'll give the students some comments, and hopefully through these comments it'll make sense why I encourage people to keep journals. Alright, so let's take a look at the article that I wrote. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, here we go. So, this article, as it says, it was written for TOEFLers who need to get higher than 26 in the speaking. So, maybe make a little bigger here. So to get a high score requires a lot of effort. In fact, some specialists say that for each point higher than 22, one will need at least 45 hours of speaking practice. Therefore, according to this assertion, to improve from 22 to 26 will require approximately 180 hours of speaking practice. Of course, some may reach their goal with fewer hours of preparation, whereas others may need even more time. My own experience as the founder, owner, and materials writer of the 7-Step System to Pass a TOEFL suggests that improving from 22 to 23 to 26 points in the speaking can take many students anywhere from 1 to 4 months of practice if these learners seek out the right instruction and if they get feedback from qualified TOEFL IBT speaking specialists. All right, so keep that in mind. Nevertheless, many TOEFL students try to reach their speaking and writing goals on their own. Will these students, if they need their brakes replaced in their automobiles, repair them on their own? What if some of these students are diagnosed with a rare form of cancer? Will they treat themselves without consulting medical professionals? In most cases, whether they need automotive repair or medical treatments, these students will consult auto technicians and medical doctors. Similarly, TOEFL IBT speaking specialists are highly educated English as a second language instructors. For example, in my case, I have a BA degree in Spanish. I have a master's in teaching English with an emphasis on, or a master's in English composition with an emphasis in teaching English as a second language. In addition, I have more than 22 years of TOEFL teaching experience. Therefore, I consider myself a TOEFL IBT speaking specialist in the sense that I have a complete mastery of phonetics, phonology, morphology, and syntax as these linguistic areas relate to the English language. Hence, I can accurately pinpoint and treat pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, coherence, and topic development problems that are causing student speaking scores to plummet. Most learners are not able to diagnose these types of language issues. In fact, these learners are not even aware that they have these problems in the first place. You guys at YouTube here, you would be surprised how many times I get emails from students who say, I don't know why my speaking score is so low. They honestly don't know. Yet when they join my course and they complete a speaking practice test, it's obvious. They have pronunciation problems, they have vocabulary problems, they have grammar problems, and even problems with topic development. But these students, they don't even know they have these problems. So then they go, why am I getting 23 points on the speaking? They don't know, many of them. So if you want to prepare for the TOEFL test alone without any professional help, then stop reading this article. If you can accept the fact that using a TOEFL IBT speaking specialist is in your best interest, keep reading, because I have an important recommendation to help you get the most out of the feedback that you get from the TOEFL speaking specialist that you hire. So some of you out there, you may be using a TOEFL tutor, right? So you want to make sure you're getting the best use of your tutor, because a tutor is charging you money every hour, right? Or if you're one of my online TOEFL students, I want to make sure you can get the best use out of that time. So since the TOEFL integrated and independent speaking rubrics focus on delivery, language use, and topic development categories, I recommend that you keep a speaking journal that focuses in those three areas. Therefore, every time you submit a speaking practice test to your IBT speaking mentor, you should write down the feedback that your mentor gives you. This is a very important point. So first of all, after completing a speaking task, your TOEFL IBT speaking specialist may give you comments to help you improve the production of vowel and consonant sounds of American English. Case in point, one of my online TOEFL course students manifested problems distinguishing between the tense and lax vowels, for example in the words beat, bit. Therefore, when giving the student audio comments, I suggested that the student review pronunciation lesson number 11, which gives the student practice with these two vowel sounds. The student should write down this information in her speaking journal so she knows what lesson she should review. Does that make sense? The journal is based on the issues or problems you're having as you're doing your speaking, so you have to get aware of what those things are. All right, so let's keep going. Okay, second of all, students should write down any feedback that relates to language use, specifically as it relates to grammar and vocabulary usage. For instance, after a student completed an independent speaking task, which asked him to discuss advice he would give a friend if she or he did not know what to study at the university, I noticed that the student was having trouble with the subjunctive mood and noun clauses after verbs of urging. As a result, I asked the student to use Google to type in the following information. What is the subjunctive mood and noun clauses in English grammar? Again, the student should write down this information in the language use category of his or her speaking journal. In addition, after another student completed an integrated speaking task, I discovered that the student was unable to paraphrase the information from the reading and the listening passages for TOEFL Integrated Speaking Task 4. To address this issue, I advised that the student study vocabulary lessons 4 through 6, all of which focus on college-level vocabulary. After getting this valuable information, the student should write this down in his or her speaking journal. Alright, so get ready. I'm going to show you a sample here in a minute. Third of all, students should also get topic development comments from their IBT speaking specialist. Typically, I view comments in this area as they relate to the organization and development of ideas. For example, one of my TOEFL students, when describing an important person and explaining why the person was so important, used very basic vocabulary and did not provide any specific details to develop the topic. Hence, I told the student to limit his focus and be more specific in using details for the two support points in the response. Upon hearing this information, the student should record this information in the topic area of his speaking journal. In other situations, many of my students have difficulties framing the topic statement for the independent speaking task and often use contrived introductions such as, quote, I have 2 reasons to support my point of view, end quote. Now, you guys at YouTube, don't use that. Don't use that particular sentence I just showed you. That's like a memorized template. Very bad idea. Will always get you a lower score. So be careful. Alright, so let's keep going. Okay, so it says, thus I advise that these students review my TOEFL Speaking Lesson 2 so they can learn how to create more sharply focused topic statements using advanced grammar. When these students get this advice, they should write it down in the development category of their journals. In the final analysis, keeping a speaking journal will help you take inventory of your delivery, language use, and topic development issues that are bringing your speaking score down. Having this record will help you know what to study and to know what not to do when completing your next TOEFL speaking practice test. Most importantly, by becoming more aware of these speaking issues before you take the TOEFL exam will make it more likely that you will eliminate or at least minimize many of these problems when you take the TOEFL IBT exam. Does that make sense? Okay, now let's go to a practice test that one of my students actually completed, and I want to illustrate the importance of what I just talked about with this particular student. Hi there, these comments are for Shrikant, and I am Michael, and I'm going to listen to your independent speaking practice test number 5. Now, first of all, let's take a look at what this question is, and then we will see how well you did with this response. Alright, so the question is, describe an important person in your life, then explain why the person is important to you. Alright, so let's hear how you answered this question.
In every person's life, he or she has had many influential people such as a mother, a father, In every person's life, he or she has had many influential people such as a mother, a father, a sibling, a close relative, or a friend. If I feel that the person is important in my life, he is a close relative. His name is Shivakumar. When his visa got rejected, he didn't feel frustrated, and after third trial he got his visa successfully approved. Moreover, when he is doing his master's program, then motivated his close friends and relatives to be a part of his living place. On one hand, he encouraged his spouse to be a software developer job, and he became a teacher to arrange all those requirements. Thus, he has been influenced in my life.
Okay, now let's listen to it again. So let's focus on your introduction first.
In every person's life, he or she has had many influential people such as a mother, a father, a sibling, a close relative, or a friend. If I feel that the person is important in my life, he is a close relative. His name is Shivakumar. When his visa got rejected,
Notice you took 17 seconds before you actually got to the person. You don't want to do that. Your introduction should be between 8 to 10 seconds. You're describing a person. Just briefly explain who the person is, what his name is, and start with your description. Then your strategy is to give one reason why this person is important.
he didn't feel frustrated, and after third trial he got his visa successfully approved. Moreover, when he is doing his master's,
Well, who is he though? What's his personality like? What does he look like? How tall is he? How short? What kinds of clothes does he wear? If you describe him, try to be more specific. Give me some physical characteristics of this person, of what he looks like. And then maybe, when you're done with that, then you can talk about why the person is important to you.
program, then motivated his close friends and relatives to be a part of his living place. On one hand, he encouraged his spouse to be a software developer job, and he became a teacher.
But what you're not doing is, you need to restate some of the key points of the question. For example, once you've described the person, you can say, well, this person is important to me because, and then take maybe 15 to 20 seconds to illustrate or answer that question, and then you'll be more framed around the purpose of the speaking.
To arrange all those requirements, thus he has been influenced in my life.
Okay, we got it. So I got enough information here now. Now, as I'm giving you comments here, I recommend you write down in a journal here, take down some notes, right? You want to get down what I'm telling you here. So now I'm going over to the rubric. So delivery. Delivery is difficult for you. Sometimes you're speaking a little too quickly, you're not making enough pauses, and you're speaking in a monotone. You need to stop that. So you need to improve your intonation. So I want you to study pronunciation lessons 36 through 40, all which focus around pronunciation. Second of all, take a look at my lessons called Thought Groups and Blending that can help you with your pausing and your pacing. All right? So those are my comments for delivery. Language use. I think overall your language tends to be a little bit basic with your vocabulary, so you need to be a little more precise in the language that you're using. So there, I recommend you take a look at my vocabulary lessons 4 through 6 in order to improve your range of vocabulary. Unfortunately, vocabulary takes time. It'll probably take you about 60 days to learn the words in those lessons, but do it. It's going to be very helpful for your speaking. Topic development, you need to do a little bit better excuse me, with restating or repeating keywords from the topic, right? You remember how I said when you got past describing the person, you can say, well, this person is important to me because. So to learn more about how to make your speaking more organized, I want you to take a look at my speaking lesson number 7. I also have a video right below that further develops that lesson, so you can also take a look at the video that accompanies that particular lesson. So if you can make those improvements, you definitely will be able to improve your speaking. Now remember that using my course is not enough. You want to be speaking a lot of English, listen to the radio, make sure you're reading newspapers on a regular basis. That's going to be very helpful. Your score here, I'm going to put you at about 2.1 out of 4, 17 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. Okay, YouTubers, so those are my comments to this student. Now think about it. I gave him a lot of instructions. If he's not writing any of this down, how is he going to remember what to do tomorrow and the next day? Because I gave him some specific lessons that he needs to focus on in order to improve his delivery, his language use, and also his topic development. All right? So I'm going to send him a quick email right now. And that's why I think keeping a speaking journal is important.